Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to break down the exact biological and mathematical mechanics of how tiny, seemingly insignificant behavioral changes actually compound into extraordinary life results. If you've ever struggled to break a bad routine or stick to a good one, the problem really isn't you, it's your system. So today, let's explore exactly how to fix that system by taking a really close look at the science of habits.
But before we even glance at the agenda, I want you to consider this staggeringly cool math. If you improve by literally just 1% a day, the compounding effect doesn't just make you kinda better, it makes you 37 times better in a single year. There's no way around it. This proves habits are absolutely the compound interest of self-improvement. It's not about these massive once-in-a-lifetime transformations. It's those tiny daily decisions that completely dictate your future trajectory. So now that we see the unbelievable value of those small changes, here is the blueprint we'll follow today. We're going to cover the power of 1% gains, the plateau of latent potential, changing your identity, the 4-step habit loop, the 4 laws of behavior change, and wrap up with sustaining mastery and motivation. Let's get right into section 1, the power of 1% gains.
To put that 1% rule into perspective, look at British cycling. For over a century, they had pretty underwhelming international success. Then, in 2003, Dave Brailsford comes in as performance director, and he didn't make massive sweeping changes. Instead, he layered tiny, seemingly unimportant 1% tweaks. We're talking things like redesigning bike suits, experimenting with massage gels, actually testing different pillows to get the riders better sleep. And the result? They completely transformed into an absolute powerhouse, winning 60% of the gold medals at the 2008 Olympics and a staggering 178 world championships over a 10-year span. Just wild.
So, if 1% gains are so mathematically foolproof, why do we fail so often? That brings us to section 2, the plateau of latent potential. Look at this image here. This brilliantly illustrates what's called the valley of disappointment. You know how it goes. We expect quick, linear progress. We think if we run for 3 days, we should immediately see a difference on the scale. But because the most powerful outcomes in any compounding process are delayed, our reality just doesn't match our expectations. We don't see immediate results, we get super frustrated, and we slide right back into our old routines.
But here's the crucial thing you've got to remember. Your previous work isn't wasted, it's just being stored. Think of an ice cube sitting on a table in a room that's warming up from 25 to 31 degrees. It looks identical, right? Nothing seems to be happening. But then, bam, at 32 degrees, it melts. The work was accumulating the whole time. Or think about bamboo. It builds this massive invisible root system underground for 5 whole years and then shoots up 90 feet in just 6 weeks. You simply have to endure that plateau to reach your tipping point. And to survive that frustrating plateau without throwing in the towel, we need section 3, changing your identity. Most of us focus totally on the outcome, like losing weight or quitting a bad habit. But consider the difference here. If you offer someone a cigarette, an outcome-based response is, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." Notice how they still believe they're a smoker who's just trying to act differently. But an identity-based response? "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." That is a completely different mindset. You have to stop focusing on what you want to achieve and really lock in on who you want to become. Don't just read a book, become a reader. Now that our identity is set, let's look under the hood in section 4, the 4-step habit loop. It is honestly fascinating how our subconscious mental shortcuts map out into this universal cycle. Literally every single habit follows this exact path. A cue sparks a craving, triggering a response, which delivers a reward. Think about your phone buzzing. That buzz is the cue. You really want to know what the message says? That's the craving. You grab the phone, the response. You read the text, the reward. By running this loop over and over, your brain hardwires the cue to the reward, making the whole shebang automatic. So we know how the loop works. Section 5 gives us the rules to hack it, the 4 laws of behavior change. I like to think of these 4 laws as a dual-purpose light switch for your habits. You can flip them on to build good habits by making them obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Or you can flip them off to break bad habits by doing the exact opposite, making them invisible, unattractive, hard, and unsatisfying. It's a brilliantly simple framework. Let's break down how to actually use it. Let's tackle law number 1, making it obvious. Remember that redesigning your environment is way more effective than relying on willpower. Willpower fades, but your environment is always there. If you want to drink more water, hide the soda out of sight in the fridge and put water bottles literally everywhere around your house. You're subtly shaping your choices without needing an ounce of self-control.
You can also make cues super obvious by using implementation intentions. Instead of saying, I should meditate more, say exactly when and where. I will meditate for 10 minutes at 6 a.m. in the study. Better yet, use habit stacking. This is where you tie a new habit directly to an existing automatic one. Like, after I finish my morning coffee, I will meditate. It works like a charm.
Moving to law number 3, make it easy. You absolutely must establish a habit before you can improve it. We humans love the path of least resistance, right? So use the 2-minute rule to master the simple art of showing up. If your goal is to run a 5K, start by just consistently changing into your running shoes every single day. That's it. Make the hurdles so incredibly low that it's impossible to fail, and let the habit take root.
Finally, to close out the loop with Law 4, you need to hack your brain's love for immediate gratification. Make sure good habits deliver instant satisfaction and bad habits deliver instant, painful consequences. Let's say you skip a milkshake. Instantly transfer $5 into a holiday fund on your phone. Boom, instant reward. For bad habits, set up a habit contract with a friend. Knowing someone is holding you accountable adds an immediate, painful social cost to messing up. Okay, we've built the engine, but how do we play the long game? That's our final section, sustaining mastery and motivation. To avoid getting bored when a habit becomes easy or discouraged when it's too hard, you have to push yourself right to the delicate edge of your current abilities. This is known as the Goldilocks rule. If you play tennis against a total beginner, you're going to get bored. If you play against Serena Williams, you're going to give up entirely. Finding that sweet spot, just at the edge of your ability, is the secret to staying wildly motivated. And that leads right into true mastery. Elite performers never stop evaluating themselves. They set up rigorous systems of review and reflection so they are constantly upgrading their habits. Take Chris Rock, for example. He tests out new material in tiny comedy clubs first, keeping what gets laughs and ruthlessly tossing what doesn't. You need to do the same. Honestly assess your progress, track your behaviors, and keep tweaking to avoid complacency. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final thought. Since your ultimate trajectory in life is just the result of 1,000 small changes layered endlessly over time, what is going to be your very first atomic habit? Seriously, what microscopic 1% change will you make today to shape the identity of your future self? Start small, stay consistent, and let the compounding begin.